So I remember sitting through this award ceremony in high school. A couple students were being honored for something, and the principal said they exemplified excellence. My friend and I started to chuckle. Excellence? In what? I could understand an excellent sandwich or an excellent beach day, but disembodied excellence in general? What was that? So I went home and started playing video games. My friend went to track practice, and Jane, well, she was always studying. Fine by me, I thought. We're all pursuing excellence. Wait, excellence in our own way, getting on the honor roll, a varsity letter, or in my case, a new high score. You do you. And who's to say that one activity is better than the other? Aristotle, that's who. From the beginning of his Nicomachean Ethics, every art and every inquiry, and similarly every action and pursuit, is thought to aim at some good. No matter what you are doing, you are trying to accomplish something. And for this reason the good has rightly been declared to be that at which all things aim. Now, as there are many actions, arts and sciences, their ends also are many. And Aristotle gives a couple examples. Medicine aims at health, shipbuilding at sailing, the military aims at victory, people go into business to make money. This is non-controversial common sense stuff. And he gives another example. One goal falling into or under another goal. Bridles are made for horse riding, riding for military action. Oh, it's a beautiful bridle. But if it doesn't help the rider, then throw it away. And if the cavalry will not help us win victory in this battle, leave him at home. The ends of the master arts are to be preferred to all subordinate ends, for it is for the sake of the former that the latter are pursued. Look at that, it's just a organization or a hierarchy of goals. If then there is some end of the things we do, which we desire for its own sake, everything else being desired for the sake of this, and if we do not choose everything for the sake of something else, because in that case it would go on for infinity, clearly this must be the good and the chief good. Will not the knowledge of it then have a great influence on life? Shall we not, like archers who have a mark to aim at, be more likely to hit upon what is right? If so, we must try, in outline at least, to determine what it is. And that's what the whole book's about, and you can read it for yourself. And I like Aristotle, but his point here is maybe made a little bit better by Plutarch in his life of Pyrrhus, a Greek general from the 3rd century BC. He won many battles. Unfortunately, some of them were Pyrrhic victories. Anyway, he's relaxing one day, and his friend Cineas asks him a question. Well, what are you doing? Getting ready to attack the Romans. Wow, they're pretty tough. What would you do if you won? Once Rome is conquered, there is neither Greek nor barbarian city that will resist us, but we shall presently be masters of all Italy. Cool. Then what? Sicily next holds out her arms to receive us, a wealthy, a populous island, and easy to be gained. And will that end the war once you take Sicily? Victory and success in that, and we will use these as forerunners of greater things. Who could forbear from Libya and Carthage then within our reach? And once all these things are in your power, what will you do then? And then said Pyrrhus, smiling, we will live at our ease, my dear friend, and drink all day and divert ourselves with pleasant conversation. And then Cineas said, well then, why don't we just do that now? What's stopping us from doing that now? It's a question worth asking. And it brings us back to video games, track, and studying. The human pursuits of recreation, health, and knowledge. Which one is best? Which one is closest to that highest good that Aristotle was talking about? And he does have a position on that, but that's not my point. I'm just saying that you could do one for the sake of the other. Let's see, that would be 6 permutations. Let's go. Learning what exercises to do in order to have fun hiking, or reading an article and choosing to play soccer instead of football because it's less dangerous, or hitting the gym to earn a football scholarship to pay for a degree that begins a career that ends with you on a yacht, or eating a healthy lunch before your yoga class where you hope to learn a new position, or biking to your college class instead of driving so that you have more energy to finish your degree, or taking a walk to clear your head to de-stress and lower your blood pressure. And if none of those examples were very good, come up with your own. Because the point here is that you can do many different things, but whatever you do, you should do them well. And a successful life should have some balance. A sound mind and body doing things you like. These things are better than the alternative. So I guess there really is no difference between playing video games and running track. Except that there is. Back to Plutarch, this time Caius Marius. That's the biography, and there's this other guy, Publius Silo. He is a man of great authority, and he says to Marius, "If you are indeed such a great general, then come out from your camp and fight in battle." And Marius replies, "Well, if you're such a great general, why don't you make me?" And that story might not have anything to do with what we're talking, but I like that story. Anyway, Plutarch probably isn't going to write your biography if you just sit around playing video games all day. But what is excellence? All right, let's look it up. The quality of being outstanding or extremely good. And then we look up excel. That means to be exceptionally good at or proficient in an activity or subject. And where does it come from? Excelsis. So excellence comes from a word that means out of, something lofty, and at least according to Isidore of Seville, Celsus comes from caelum for sky. Celestial comes from that term. So out of something lofty, or maybe even out of the sky, excellence, a standard coming from beyond ourselves. So excellence in video gaming is possible, but it's enclosed within the logic of the game. The athlete, on the other hand, compares against a higher, a more universal standard, distance and time. She engages her entire body, not just her thumbs. She presses on through her urge to quit and achieves a new personal best. So that's a higher form of excellence, I would say. I'm not against video games at all. It's a fine way to relax, and some games are very well made. I especially like the reset button. Things aren't going well, you just hit reset and you're back with a fresh, clean slate. I like that, and I'm not totally in support of running either. Too much running can damage your knees, but nobody runs for the sake of damaging their knees. Like I said before, the goal is some sort of balance, and the way you attain that balance is with reference to an external standard, a plumb line or the North Star. Consider studying. For what? For knowledge. Okay, but knowledge of what? Memorizing baseball statistics, that's one thing. Studying history, literature, and through them the big issues, the great ideas, the questions worth asking. After all, who cares if you're a good baseball fan if you are a lousy person? And whether you are throwing a pitch, living a life, governing a city, or shooting an arrow, hitting the mark is better than missing it. That's some external standard. And clearly seeing that mark, that's the first step to hitting it. The second step is self-analysis. Are your arrows landing too high or too low? What changes can you make and should you make? Because some things are better than others. Hopefully that's not a controversial thing to say. At least that's what I was told in another presentation. I was told there, and I believe that the scene on the right is better, is preferable, more excellent than the scene on the left. More eyes on the playing field, fewer people left out. At least I think that's the analogy. I know that you can change to get closer to a standard or farther away from it, to attain or to forfeit your goal. You cannot, however, change for the sake of being the same. So let us pursue excellence.